I stand before you in unshakable faith, knowing that the love that is within your heart and in your souls and in this community is more than enough to carry you through this time of transition. I know this, I claim it, I declare it, I believe it. Unshakable faith. When we make our stand on universal principles that there is only one presence and one power, God, and that presence and power is good, and that presence and power is within each and every one of us, then whatever circumstance we are facing, whatever opinion we have, whatever conclusion or judgment or forgiveness that we need to make, melts away. Now, I'm not saying we don't have to go through a process in this time of transition, because it's very important that we break up a pattern that has gotten established here. It's not to point fingers, it's not to judge people. I haven't come to say, let me fix you, because I'm this superhero. I'm here to say you and you and you and you and you are the superheroes we're counting on. That there have been mistakes made. Who hasn't made a mistake in this room? I know. Well, she's on her way ascending, so watch her. And we make mistakes not because we want to cause trouble, but because we feel like what we can see, what our opinion is the best course to take. But I'm going to tell you here and now, yep, I am. You can help me say it too. That here in this room is enough wisdom to guide us. We just need to slow down, not move so quickly through the challenges we have ahead. There's a lot of grief here. Would you admit that? How many stages does grief have? It has 5. And you don't go in order of each stage, but you rotate through all 5 of them. There's anger, there's disbelief, there's bargaining, and there's 2 more. The last one is acceptance. And when we get to that part of accepting what is, that we're no longer resisting what we see, as Reverend Denise said in her talk 2 weeks ago about uncovering your heart, opening your heart wide, to have that beginner's mind, to be like a child. I wonder what's possible next. Then we can have fun doing this process. But we can't shortchange the phases of transition. One thing we know for sure, life changes, right? I'm not the same person I am today that I was when I was a teenager. Thank you, God. And my parents in the ethers are saying, yes, thank you. Because I didn't have unshakable faith when I was a teenager. I thought my parents were crazy. What were they doing with this weird religion? Although I really liked across the gates of Unity Village, it said the School of Practical Christianity. I thought, okay, I've seen you talk about it. I've had the Bible preached to me, often by my mother, and I wish I'd listened more. I wish I had paid more attention to the wisdom that came through. But what we are is human beings in a spiritual experience. But then we wake up and hear, wait a minute, I'm not a human being. That's not all I am. I'm a spiritual being. Can I believe it? Can I stand in faith and say, yes, I am spiritual? I'm telling you that the teenagers I see today, and I talk to the young people, are miles ahead of where I was as far as spirituality goes. They really have a deeper understanding, and that's why we want to invite them into the community and have them show us, what is it you'd like to see and hear and experience and know? We have tons of activities going on here at Unity of Naples. I'm blown away. I really am. We're coming out of a pandemic. And you know what the pandemic did for you and for many people? And all of a sudden, we're feeling disconnected from the source of good in our life. When we hear about what's going on in Maui, and we take this moment just to bless that island, and we look at climate change, my goodness, what you've been through here in Florida is amazing. You're still cleaning up from hurricanes that you've had. We've had, when I was in Chicago working with a church there, one day we had 8 tornadoes. 8 tornadoes. So where am I going to stand in the midst of those tornadoes, in the midst of the hurricanes, in the midst of the rapid fires, in the midst of the unbelievable heat? I'm going to rest in knowing that God is present. There is nowhere God is not. And when I remember that I am a living expression of the love of God, then I can serve with hope and light. Looking at Jesse and Sarah, can you not see the light emanating from those beautiful beings? And then their gorgeous daughter tops it all off. We're here to be the light for each other. We're here to show the way. And sometimes we have to clean up the schmutz that has been created. Before, I got to talk football because, you know, it's getting towards football season, and I'm a Chiefs fan. You know, the best team in football, with the best quarterback in football. No. I'm not comparing or judging or any of that. I'm just saying I'm having fun for the first time in my life with football. Who knew that I was going to take an interest in a sport that's that violent? But before they let the team get out on the field, what do? They have to prepare the field, don't they? They have to clean the field up to keep the players safe. Well, we have to clean up the field here. And in cleaning up the field here, we're going to take time and listen to one another. I've been meeting the last 2 weeks with a lot of you who are sharing your pain and your discomfort with me. And that is fine. You don't have to spiritualize your pain. For a long time, growing up with 2 Unity ministers, you can imagine, I thought it wasn't okay to feel pain, to be unhappy. That somehow I had to spiritually bypass because, you know, you're Carla. You're so much more than that thought. Well, I might be, but right this moment, there's that thought in me. Stand with me. Help me move past this thought, this understanding to something deeper and more hopeful. So that's what we're going to do through this transition. I've used the book Finding Yourself in Transition by Robert Brummett as sort of my source through these next 3 Sundays. But I also want to invite you, if you'd like to do a deeper dive into this book, let's find a time where we can talk about it, answer questions, see where our opinion is causing us to resist. And the resistance is causing us to suffer. and causing us to say, well, I have to choose this person over that person. No, we don't have to choose anybody over anyone else. But you might wonder, what do I, as a transitional specialist, what does that even mean? It just means that I've had training in going through the process of transitions. I've had training where I can go into any theology and help a spiritual community at church go through the process of transitions, because transitions are about the family dynamics of people. You love this church, right? Those of you who are new to this church, can you feel it? As if this is your first time, can you feel the energy that is here, the possibilities that exist? Wait till you go to the Wise Women Tea and the community center and connect with people. This is an amazing campus with an amazing history. We don't have to change the past, but we need to let it go. We need to let it go. Transitions involve 3 different phases. First, there's endings. And that's where we are right now. It's looking at the grief and the loss and trying to see what it truly means for us as a spiritual community. And then from the endings, we go into something called the void. Everybody in Unity and New Thought hates the void because it's not fun. It's unsettling. It's uncomfortable. You know, for years I heard, well, if it's meant to be, it'll be easy. Where in Scripture does it say it's going to be easy? It's going to be what it's going to be. And we have to dismantle old ways of knowing things to let the wisdom of the group reveal the next path to take. So the void takes as long as it takes, and we'll be going through that together. And then we hit the best part of transitions, and that's new beginnings. Don't you just love new beginnings? Oh my gosh, we get to vision, we get to look at our mission and vision and see, oh, is this really our core values? Who are we here to serve? Who are we? Who are we? And November 4th, you'll get to hear the president of Unity Worldwide Ministries, who's coming here to talk to us about how to focus energy in this new time of post-COVID to serve the community in a bigger way. So how are you going to serve? Some of you are doing more than you ever dreamt possible. And some of you have a longing in your heart to step forward. We welcome you. We want to hear what's in your heart. So we'll go through the 3 phases of the transition, and then I'll leave. Now I'll be woven into this very community. Every community I've left, I've stayed in touch with, because a piece of me is a part of you. When I pulled up to Unity of Naples, I started to cry. I'd never been here before. And I cried because I felt the sacredness of your grounds. It reminded me of Unity Village. Unity Village is 1,400 acres, and if you haven't been there, come to Kansas City and I'll take you on a tour of it. Prayer's been going on 130 years, 24/7. 130 years. Charles Fillmore was the first one who brought the telephone, when it was first invented, into the prayer room so people could have a voice on the other end of the phone. That's the intention of that visionary. We're now past where we are in our transition past the Fillmores is to step forward in new and exciting ways to meet the needs of people. 80% of the people in this country don't go to church. Did you know that? 80%. We're not meeting needs of the human condition. But we can. A small group of committed people intentionally lifting up spirits can do amazing things, limitless, miraculous things. So I say to you all, I have come here to be with you, not to stay, not to take over, not to tell you how to do things or to fix things, but I have come to lead a process that I have been trained to lead. This process is full of conflict. Can you believe it? Now, why would a nice little old lady like you want to come into a conflictive situation? You know why? I was called. This is my purpose, is to know conflict just is an opportunity to grow. And if we aren't growing, we're what? It's not a good thing not to grow. And we must not just change, but we want to transform. We want to move into a radical new way of being alive. My favorite quote is, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and do it." Do it. And we do it with love and faith and an unshakable knowing that we're not here to suffer, but to grow. We're here to serve. We're here not to let this be a secret, but to let the world know what we have to offer. So now, as we begin to move into a time of meditation, I'm going to leave you with these 3 words. No, there's more than 3 words, but these 3 statements. I invite you to dare to be brave. I invite you to love lavishly. I mean, spread love around this world. We need it. The human condition needs it. We have enough of the fighting and the yelling and the screaming and the conflict. Love lavishly. And laugh loudly. Belly laugh. Get up in the morning and just belly laugh. You have no idea how shifting that energy lifts your spirit and the day becomes better.